What's going on, YouTubers? It's your boy J.R. Williams, and today I'm going to show you how to transform your brakes and rotors from this into this. Stay tuned, check it out. Okay, so let's talk about the parts you're going to need to complete this upgrade. Okay, first you're going to need 08 to 09 Dodge Caliper SRT4 dual piston brake calipers, 2011 Dodge Charger brake hoses, that's for a 3.6 liter and 5.7 liter engine, 08 to 09 Dodge Caliper SRT4 front brake rotors and brake pads. The most important part of this upgrade are the 2013 Chrysler 200/Dodge Avenger caliper brackets. Also keep in mind your rims must be 18 inches and above to clear space for the larger rotors and brake calipers that you're going to install. You're going to also need brake fluid, brake cleaner, brake hose copper banjo washers, and new brake hose banjo bolts. Okay, now let's get to the upgrade.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dodge This. Today we finally got all the parts in for the big brake upgrade. We're gonna get to it, but before I get to the big brake upgrade, I have to put a clear coat on my brake calipers. So here's a look at the spray gun I'm gonna be using. This is the clear coat that I'm gonna be using right here. We're gonna take care of it, we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna cut it back on. Peace.
So in this video, you're seeing me add a clear coat to the brake calipers to protect the caliper paint, and I have the brake calipers kind of suspended with zip ties. This gives me just gives me a better angles, which allows me to add clear coat to every part of the calipers without having to flip them over and stuff like that. So like I said, I added clear coat to these, let them sit for a few minutes, and in the next video you're going to see us put them in the oven for 20 minutes and pull them out of the oven. So in this video we are actually curing the clear coat onto the brake calipers by storing them in the oven. We set the oven to about 200 degrees and we let the calipers sit in there for roughly 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we pulled the brake calipers out of the oven and let them cool off for another 20 to 30 minutes before we proceeded with the install. Okay, so in this video, you're seeing us remove the two front wheels and while we're placing them on jack stands. You also want to have one person bleed the left brake caliper and use a piece of wood to keep the brake pedal pressed to the floor. And this will keep most of the brake fluid from leaking while you're swapping out the calipers. All right, so in this clip, I'm removing the brake hose bolt using a flare nut wrench, getting that all loosened up. Pause. Okay, removing the retaining clip, that's getting that out of the way. And I'm ultimately removing this bracket bolt, which is holding the hose in place, keeping it from moving. Yep, moving that out of the way, getting it all nice and clean, no brake fluid leaking. Okay, so let's go ahead and take off the brake caliper bolts, get those out of the way. Nice and easy. And those, look at that brake caliper, holy shit, look at the bottom of it, look at that, bad shape. Okay, let's get the brake pads out of the way, and let's go ahead and take off the brackets. Let's get those out of the way, and that should be our last step. Look at that, oops, look at the brake bracket fail, and that's really it. We can take off the brake rotor and get ready for the install. Okay, so we're just cleaning, I'm just cleaning off the hub. As you can see, it's a lot of rust around that thing, man. And we don't want a lot of rust up there when we get ready to put the new rotor on. So just clean that up. And we're here, I'm just doing the pre-stage of the brake hose and the bracket or whatnot. Just kind of getting everything staged up and kind of screwing everything in, getting it all set up, putting the retaining clip back in. Now what I could have did, I could have connected the brake hose to the caliper first. I should have did that. So lesson learned. And here I'm just kind of connecting the brake hose to the bracket. All easy stuff, y'all. And check this out. This is the old rotor versus the new rotor. Wow. And I'm putting the rotor onto the hub. Now you really want to make sure that you clean the rotor with some brake cleaner. Clean it on both sides. I cannot stress that enough. You want to make sure you clean it. And here I'm just putting 2 bolts on to keep the rotor from moving when I install the caliper. Okay, so now I'm putting the bracket in place. Now once you put the bracket in here, go ahead and put the brake hardware into the bracket, the retaining clips for the brake pads. Make sure all that stuff is in place before you put the pads in. And right now I'm just securing the bracket bolts to the hub or whatnot. All easy things, people. And here I'm just pre-staging the brake pads, but you want to make sure you put the non-squeak squeal grease on the back of the brake pads. You want to make sure, definitely make sure you do that. And one thing I forgot to show y'all in a previous video that I didn't video record is that you want to make sure that you put some silicone grease on the caliper bolts, the sliding bolts. Definitely want to make sure you do that before you put everything together, before you start sliding those bolts in. That bolt that I'm screwing in right there, make sure you put some silicone lubricant on those bolts. And I'm just tightening up the brake hose banjo bolt. And at that point you want to start bleeding the brakes and topping the brake fluid off. And after you get everything bled, test it out. And as you can see here, I got a little bit of a leak at the bottom, so I'm just going to tighten up that banjo bolt a little bit more. But same process on the other side. Just make sure that you are making sure the brake cylinder is full of brake fluid, and that's it. Okay, here I'm just comparing. Man, look at that. Look at the old versus the new, man. That's crazy. Look how small the old one was versus the new one. It's almost doubled. It's definitely double the size. Crazy. And look at the rotors. Crazy shit, y'all. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the final product. Here you go. So, let me say this. I mean, I love the upgraded look, and more importantly, the improved stopping power. I mean, I can't say enough about this upgrade. Overall, the process is relatively simple, and it shouldn't take you more than a few hours to complete. All the parts I use are in the description, but you can definitely choose a cheaper route when selecting your rotors and brake pads. And here's a quick look at the before and after. Oh yeah, before I forget, quick shout out to my sons and all the guys in the Avenger forums, especially BRR. Stay tuned for Volume 3, where I will be upgrading my projector headlights, and Volume 4 will be a drum to disc brake conversion. Thanks for watching. It's your boy Dodge This. See you next time. Peace.